You gazed out the window, watching the city lights twinkle in the distance. Your heart was filled with a mix of excitement and nervousness as you thought about your plan for the evening. Jungkook, your mafia husband of 2 years, had been stubborn about you staying home, but your best friend Jacques had insisted you to go out to the club. Come on, Ryan, it will be fun. Jungkook doesn't have to know. Jack had pleaded you earlier that day on the call. You had hesitated knowing how protective Jungkook could be, but the fun of a night out with her closest friend was too tempting to resist. Alright, let's do it. You had finally agreed, your voice coated with a hint of mischief on the call. As the evening approached, your nerves began to build. Jungkook was away on a mission, and you know he would be furious if he found out you had disobeyed him and went out. But the thought of night with your friends, enjoying yourself, was too much to bear. I'm a grown woman. I can make my own decisions. You murmured to yourself, straightening your shoulders with determination. With a quick glance at the clock, you slipped out of the mansion carefully to avoid the watchful eyes of Jungkook's guards. Jack was waiting for you in the compound of your mansion, a mischievous grin plastered across his face. Ready to have some fun? He asked, his eyes twinkling with excitement. You couldn't help but smile back. Let's do it. You replied, your heart racing with an excitement. The drive was filled with laughter and many jokes you missed from many days. You were so happy, forgetting about the world which hid many threats for you. As you came to the club, the pulsing music and flashing lights attracted you. You hesitated for a moment, but Jack's infectious enthusiasm quickly dismissed your thoughts. This is going to be epic, he exclaimed, leading the way through the crowded entrance. The interior of the club was a dizzying array of neon lights and pounding beats. You felt a little happiness as you took in the scene, your worries about Jungkook temporarily pushed to the behind of your mind. You both made your way to the bar, ordering a round of drinks and joining the group dancers on the floor. You lost yourself in the music, your body swaying to the rhythm as you let go of your worries. Time seemed to slip away as you danced and laughed, your worries fading into the background, but not known to you, a power of watching has been monitoring your every move. Jungkook had returned from his mission earlier than expected, only to find his wife's absence, worry buried in his chest as he gathered his guards, demanding to know where you had gone. She left with her friend Jack, sir, one of the guards reported, his voice trembling under Jungkook's intense gaze. Jungkook's jaw tightened, his knuckles turning white as he gripped the edge of the table. And you let her go? He growled, his voice low and dangerous. The guards followed hard and lowered his eyes. We tried to stop her, sir, but she was stubborn. We didn't want to cause a scene. Jungkook let out a frustrated sigh, his mind racing with 1,000 thoughts. He knew the risk of you being out in the city, especially without his protection. His enemies were always lurking, waiting for a weakness to exploit him. Find her, he ordered, his voice coated with contained rage. Just then he got a call from one of his friends. Hello? Jungkook, I'm at the club. I saw Wine here. She came alone with her friend. There are no guards around here, he said, where Jungkook immediately left, relieving sigh. Oh, thanks for informing me. Please watch her until my guards come there to bring her, he suddenly cut the call as he knew his friend would be a bodyguard to you until your guards arrived there. Suddenly you stopped dancing and glanced around the club, your eyes scanning the faces of the other patrons, searching for any sign of danger. Hey, you okay? Jack asked, leaning in close to being heard over the music. You forced a smile, nodding your head. Yeah, I'm just fine, just feeling a little tired. I want to go home. Okay, fine, let's go. I will drop you at home. With that, you and Jack came out of the club and went to the parking lot. Minju, what are you doing here? You were surprised to see your guards in the parking lot. Ma'am, sir came back. He immediately wants you to come home. Your heart started beating fast as you started to worry in what state Jungkook must be now. Jungkook was waiting for you in the living room. His jaw tightened with a mixture of fear and anger. Ryan, his beloved wife, had gone out to a club without his knowledge or consent. The very thought of you being in such a public, uncontrolled environment making him unsettled. His enemies were relentless and he couldn't bear the thought of them using you as a pawn against him. He grabbed the alcohol he held in his hand and put it on the table, making the glass of table scream. After a while, you entered the mansion, holding your nervousness inside, acting calmly from outside. You saw Jungkook on the couch but acted like you didn't see him and was walking towards the staircase until his voice, coated with anger and concern, fell in your ear. Ryan, wait. He stood up from the couch and corrected his throat quickly to make him calm because he doesn't like shouting at you. You lifted your head up, your eyes widening with a mixture of surprise and fear. Jungkook? You breathed, your fingers tightening around the strap of your purse. Where were you till now? You swallowed hard, your heart pounding in your chest. I went out with Jack. You admitted, your voice barely above a whisper. Jungkook's expression darkened and he took a step closer. You went out without my knowledge. Do you have any idea how dangerous that was? But what should I do? I want to enjoy Jungkook, you said calmly yet nervous. Then you should have told me about it. I would have arranged protection for you before you go there, he said calmly as he was concerned about you. You felt little anger which was within you and you lifted your chin, meeting his gaze. I'm not a child, Jungkook. I can make my own decisions. I am tired of your overprotection. I can't do this anymore. Jungkook's jaw tightened and he let out a frustrated sigh. You don't understand, Ryan. The world out there is not a safe place for you. There are those who would seek to use you against me to hurt you in order to get me. I cannot allow that to happen. You narrowed your eyes and you took a step forward. Your voice was rising with emotion. I understand the risk, Jungkook, but I'm not a fragile doll that needs to be kept unlocked. Jungkook can see where it is going, so he tried to calm you, but it looks like it's impossible. Okay, let's leave this matter now. Next time, just tell me. I will make all the arrangements. That's what I'm saying. Can't you understand? I'm tired of this life. I want a peaceful life, like a normal girl. I'm really fed up and I deserve to have a life of my own. Your voice was so strong and near to scream. Your pain was correct, but the way you spoke seemed wrong to him. You opened your mouth to say something, but Jungkook raised a hand and showed silence in you. I understand. Live your life the way you want. With that you realized your words hurt him. You felt you should have told him in a better way instead of using unnecessary words. But how would you realize it when you are in anger? Jungkook. You called him as he was going upstairs. He stood at his place but didn't turn at you. I'm sorry, I don't know you held this much inside you. You can live your life the way you want. I'm no one to tell you. He sighed and went to the bedroom. He left, leaving you standing alone, your heart heavy with a mixture of guilt, frustration, and a growing sense of isolation. As the door clicked shut behind Jungkook, you felt the weight of his silence settle over you like a suffocating blanket. You sat there on the couch and felt bad for talking to him like that. You knew Jungkook never ever hurt you and would never do that. The only thing you have to complain about him was his protectiveness. But you know, it was only for your safety. You didn't realize what you were saying in anger. You came to the bedroom, closing the door behind you, only to see Jungkook coming out from the bathroom as he took shower. I think you didn't eat. Come, I will serve you. I'm not hungry, he said, throwing the towel in a bin and went to the bed to lay down. Jungkook, let me explain. Your voice was above a whisper, but he simply lay down on the bed silently. You felt sad about his behavior as it never happened. You could not be able to bear his silence for even 1 minute. You sat on the bed and tried to explain to him, but he turned away, which hurt you. You silently laid down on the bed as he back faced you. You thought of talking to him in the morning. Once he calms down, you try to sleep even though you know it was impossible for you. As the minutes ticked by, the silence in the room grew slowly, and you found yourself longing for Jungkook's comforting embrace, his soothing voice, the gentle way he would hold you and reassure you that everything would be alright. He slowly started to ignore you. He completely became silent and don't even reply to you if you ask anything. Instead, he would just gestures to you sometimes, else no. He wanted to stay away from your decision but never forget to prioritize your safety, even though he was disappointed. After 3 days, you came to the bus stop as you left the house at night. You really didn't feel like staying there when he doesn't like talking to you. You sat alone on a bench at the bus stop, your arms wrapped around yourself as you shivered in the cold. The snow had started to fall, and the wind whipped through your thin jacket, sending shivers down your spine. You started out at the empty street, your mind replaying the argument with Jungkook and his silent behavior. You hadn't meant to upset him, but his constant need to control you had become suffocating. Couldn't he see that you were a grown woman capable of making your own decisions? You knew Jungkook only wanted to keep you safe, but his overprotectiveness was starting to take a toll on your relationship. You loved him dearly, but sometimes you felt like you were living in a guilt cage. Tears started forming in your eyes as you're really missing Jungkook. Maybe I should have just listened to him. Ah, Ryan, where did you go? I should not have behaved like that. He was feeling guilty for his actions. He started searching for you. Soon he got to know you left the house. The guards continued their search, scouring the city for any sign of you. Jungkook had ordered them to leave no stone unturned, and they knew better than to disobey their boss. What have I done? Where are you, Ryan? As hours ticked by, Jungkook's anxiety only grew, his mind racing with thousands of different scenarios, each one more terrifying than the last. What? Did you find her? He asked his guard, who called him. Sir, she is near the bus stop. A slight relief touched Jungkook and he immediately cut the call. Soon he knew the address. The drive to the bus stop felt like an eternity and his heart pounded in his chest. with each passing second. What if you were hurt? What if you were in danger? The what ifs swirled in his mind, fueling his desperation to reach you. As the car pulled up to the bus stop, Jungkook's eyes immediately landed on you, shivering from. You were sitting on the bench, your arms wrapped around yourself, your eyes lowered. Jungkook's heart sank at the sight of you and he rushed to your side, his hands gently cupping your face. Mayan, the sound of approaching footsteps caught your attention and you looked up, your heart pounding in your chest. Jungkook, his face has a mix of relief and guilt, was hurrying towards you, his long strides carrying him across the snow-covered pavement. You felt a surge of emotion as he approached. Your hands trembled as you reached out to him. Jungkook, you whispered, your voice barely audible over the howling wind, but you quickly remained silent, remembering about his silent treatment. Jungkook was at your side in an instant, his hands gently cupping your face as he searched your eyes for any sign of fear or distress. But you didn't look at him as you lowered your eyes. Wine, are you alright? I have been so worried. He murmured. His voice was mixed with his emotions. You felt the tears spill down your cheeks as you looked up at him, your heart aching with the weight of your argument. You quickly looked up at him when he wrapped his coat around you to keep you warm in the snow. Jungkook, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, you whispered, your voice barely above a whisper. Jungkook shook his head, cutting you off. No, don't apologize. It's my fault. I should have been more understanding. He pulled you into his arms, holding you close as the snow continued to fall around. You buried your face in his chest, your body was shaking with silent sobs. I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. You whispered, your voice muffled by his shirt. Jungkook tightened his grip on you, his heart aching at the thought of you being alone and afraid. I'm here now. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. Whine. He murmured, pressing a gentle kiss to top of your head. Let's go home, he said softly, his thumb wiping away the tears that were still dropping on your cheeks. You nodded, your own hand reaching up to cover his. Okay, you whispered, your voice barely audible. The ride back to the mansion was silent. Jungkook kept glancing over at you, his heart aching at the sight of your huddle in the passenger seat. Your gaze was fixed on the passing scenery. When you finally arrived, Jungkook and you entered inside the mansion. Once you were safely inside, he pulled you into his arms, holding you close as he murmured soft words of apology. You clung to him, your body still trembling from the cold and the emotional turmoil of the night. You knew that you had a lot to talk about, but in that moment, all you wanted was to feel safe and loved. Jungkook led you to the couch, wrapping a warm blanket around your shoulders as he sat beside you. He took your hands in his eyes searching your face for any sign of fear or resentment. Vine, I'm so sorry. I never meant to make you feel trapped or afraid. I was so worried about your safety. His voice was coated with his deep sense of guilt. You looked up at him, your eyes filled with a mix of understanding and hurt. I know, Jungkook. I know you were just trying to protect me, but sometimes I feel like I'm living in a cage. Jungkook nodded, his grip on your hands tightening ever so slightly. I understand, and I promise I will do better. I will try to be more understanding. If you want to go anywhere, tell me. I will take you there. I'm sorry, I didn't realize how much you have been worrying. I worried about your safety, but I forgot about your desires in life. I'm sorry once again. I will never repeat this, and please don't leave the house anytime. I can't live without you. I love you, Ryan. Thanks for understanding, Jungkook. I will not do this next time. I left because I was not able to live without talking to you. You also don't repeat. I love you, Jungkook, and I will be careful about my words. You said in a pout, Jungkook pulled you close, his arms wrapping around you in a warm embrace. I love you, Ryan. I love you too, Jungkook. You snuggle into his embrace. You both sat there lost in each other's arms, the warmth and comfort of your embrace slowly erasing the lingering tension of your argument. Jungkook knew that you still had a lot to work through, but in that moment, all that mattered was that you were together and that you were safe and secure. Thank you for watching.